A 7-year-old child presses the sharp edge of a blade against his own palm. Blood drip. There's no fear in his eyes, only cold determination. In the firelight, village elders watch silently. Will this child die tomorrow, or will a warrior be born tonight? On the ice-covered ground, bare feet stand without trembling. His breath rises like steam. Runes carved along his boot length. A piece of iron in his small hand, just like it was in his grandfather's hand. This moment is the continuation of a tradition. This moment is the testing of a soul. How did the most ruthless warriors of Norse lands learn to dance with death from such a young age? When the cold breath of morning surrounds the village, the child's hand no longer trembles. The wooden sword he holds sways like a ghost in the morning mist. There's no longer fear in his eye, only that primal desire flowing in his ancestors' blood. The man standing before him isn't the child's father. He's the clan's warmaster. The scars on his face tell the story of 1,000 battles. The warmaster's eyes are glacier blue. In his left eye, there's a scar from an old battle. The scar right in the center of the eye, like an eagle's talon. This mark hasn't blinded him, it's made him see more sharply. Viking warriors are like, their wounds give strength, not weakness. Today you will learn to die, says the man, his voice colder than the wind. You cannot learn to live without learning to die. Even horses smell death and prepare themselves. You, human child, won't you even match the horses? At the village's edge, horses are indeed restless. They too sense this morning is different. The smell of blood in the air, the scent of death in the wind. Animals understand this change earlier than humans. In Viking training, nature is always the teacher. The child raises his sword. His hands no longer tremble. He knew this moment would come. He's known since the moment of his birth. Viking children are born this way, among war cries, in the smell of blood, with death's breath on their neck. Even in the womb, they've heard the rhythm of war drum. While in the womb, his mother's heartbeat pounded like a war drum. When his father went to war, the mother sang war songs to the child in her belly. Viking children are born this way, meeting war, blood, and death. In the shadow of the great oak tree at the village center, blood traces are still visible. Last night, another child passed the test here. Was he successful, or is his body now drifting in the frozen river? No one answered. Asking questions is weakness. Getting answers is luxury. On the oak tree's trunk, ancient runes are carved. Each rune tells a story. Death rune, life rune, war rune. The children have memorized these runes. Because runes are the language of the Viking soul, runes are the ancestors' messages. In the early morning hours, while other village children still sleep, the chosen ones gather at the training ground. The earth is frozen, their breaths emerge as steam. This isn't play, this is survival. This is becoming Viking, and becoming Viking starts in childhood, but doesn't end with childhood. The training ground is the village's most sacred place. For centuries, Viking children have prepared to become warriors here. The soil has been watered with generations' blood. Under every inch of earth there's a child's tear, but tears aren't weak, they're purification. The war master gathers the children in a circle. None are younger than 10. By the time they reach 10, they've learned the taste of blood along with mother's milk. When taking their first steps, stone axes were placed in their hand. Their first words weren't mama, but war. Their first toys weren't wooden figures, but daggers made from real bones. Viking children's toys are different. Shields made from lambskin, spears from deer antlers, arrowheads from eagle talon. Every toy is a miniature of what will one day become a real weapon. Even play is training. Training is survival. The master points to the smallest one. The child steps forward, the same fire burning in his eyes as in the adult's eye. His age is small, but his soul is old. Viking children are like this. Small bodies, giant soul, because the soul grows faster than the body in lands of pain. This child's name is Olaf. His father died in battle last winter. His mother raises him alone. But Olaf isn't alone. All of the village's children belong to the village. In Viking culture, there are no orphaned children, only future warriors. You first, says the master, attack me with all your strength. But know this first. If your strike is weak, I will strike you. If your strike is strong, you might wound me. In both cases, blood will flow. Blood must flow. The master's words hang in the air. The children understand the seriousness of his words. This isn't play, this is real. This isn't training, this is life. And in life, every decision brings pain. The child doesn't hesitate. He was born for this moment. Screaming, he runs, raising his wooden sword high. Wind whips his face. Earth cracks under his feet. The master brings the child down with a single movement. The child rolls on the ground, blood coming from his mouth, but he gets up. Viking children always get up. They were born to get up. The blood in the child's child's mouth is sweet. First blood is always sweet, because that blood is the last taste of childhood. From now on, every blood will be bitter. Every wound will be a lesson. Good, says the master. You felt the pain. Now make pain your friend. Pain will teach you the truth. There's no place for the weak in war. Pain will teach you who has noble blood and who has slave blood. The other children watch silently. They too have experienced the same pain, learned the same lesson. Everyone waits their turn, because Viking training is like this. It begins with pain, ends with death. But between the pain, honor is born. Next child is 9-year-old Ingrid. Girl children don't receive different treatment from boys. In Viking culture, a strong woman is as valuable as a strong man, sometimes even more valuable, because a woman is both warrior and life-giver. Ingrid's hair is braided, with small bone pieces between the braids. These bones are taken from the first animals she killed: rabbit bones, squirrel bones, small bird bone. Each bone is a victory. Each victory is a step toward becoming a warrior. The master looks at Ingrid. The girl has a different fire in her eyes than the boy, colder, more calculated. Men fight with fire, women with ice. Both kill, but in different ways. What will you do? Asks the master. Ingrid doesn't answer. She silently reaches down, picks up a stone. The stone is sharp, cutting. The master doesn't understand what she's trying to do. Then Ingrid hits the stone against her own forehead. Blood flows. The girl makes no sound. Smart, says the master. You wounded yourself so I couldn't wound you. But be careful. If you use this tactic in war, the enemy will wound you more.
Ingrid smiled.
But this smile isn't warm, it's ice cold. Master, she says, in war, while the enemy tries to wound me, I'll kill him. The master nods. This girl is on the right path. As the day progresses, children try different weapons: sword, axe, spear. Each one a separate lesson, a separate pain. Their hands bleed, their bodies turn black and blue. But no one complains. Complaining is worse than death for a Viking child. Each weapon has its own soul. The sword is the noble warrior's weapon, fast, sharp, honorable. The axe is the strong warrior's weapon, heavy, destructive, fearsome. The spear is the distant warrior's weapon, long, pointed, patient. Children discover which weapon they're better with. Olaf is talented with the sword. His hands are small, but fast. Ingrid likes the axe. It requires strength, but woman's strength is different from man's strength. Smarter, more efficient. When the midday sun is overhead, the master takes the children to the depths of the forest. This is where real training will begin, away from civilization, in nature's heart. Here, Viking children will learn nature's merciless rule. The forest is the homeland of Viking culture. Trees are the homes of gods. Animals are spirits. Every sound is a message. Every movement a lesson. Children will learn to read the forest, just like reading runes. In war, your enemies aren't just humans, says the master. Cold, hunger, fatigue, they're all your enemies. If you don't learn to defeat them, you won't win any war. But your greatest enemy will be yourself, your own fear, your own weakness. The first lesson in the forest: walking without making sound. Children learn to move silently over leaves, between branches. Every step calculated, every breath controlled. Making sound means death. Second lesson: reading tracks. There are tracks on the ground, in leaves, on trees. Every track is a story. A deer passed, a fox ran, a bear wandered. Children learn to read these stories. Third lesson: hiding. Children learn to disappear behind trees, inside bushes. Being invisible is a warrior's most important skill. An invisible enemy is a deadly enemy. The first day ends like this. Children return home, but they're no longer the same children. Something has changed in their eyes. Innocence has gone, replaced by cold determination. Viking childhood ends like this, in one day, with one lesson, with one pain. But this is just the beginning. The real tests are yet to come. Winter night has fallen over the village. Snow is falling, wind howling as it bends the tree. Normal children sleep in their warm bed, but Viking children are different. For them, night is the most important training. Night is when the real warrior is born. This night is different. The air is colder, the wind sharper. Nature seems to be waiting for something. The village elders know these signs. On nights like this, heroes are born or children die. An hour before midnight, the guard watching outside the village hears howling sounds from the distance. Real wolves have surrounded the village. This isn't coincidence. The war master called them. Tonight, children will dance with wolves. They'll learn from wolves or become wolf food. There's an ancient melody in the wolves howling. This melody has been unchanged for thousands of years. Hunting song, death song, survival. Viking children must learn this song because they too are hunted. They too are prey. The war master wakes the children. Midnight. There's a storm outside. Temperature below zero. Get up, he says. Wolf packs are hunting tonight. You will hunt with them. There's a new tone in the master's voice. Harder, more ruthless, because tonight is different. Tonight children will face real danger. real risk of death. Children don't object. They haven't learned to object. They put on thick furs, take their weapons, go out into the night. Snow comes up to their knees. Breathing becomes difficult, but they don't stop. Each child has different items on their back: rope, knife, flintstone. Most important, small totems inherited from ancestors: eagle talon, wolf tooth, bear claw. These totems will protect them or witness their death. Vikings learned hunting from wolves, says the master, among the storm's sound. How wolves move as a pack, how they approach silently, how they wait for the killing moment. We learned all of this from them. Tonight you will see your ancestors' teachers. At the forest entrance, a large wolf skull hangs. This skull is the village's sacred relic. A century ago, the alpha wolf killed by the first Viking warrior. As children pass under the skull, ancient spirits greet them. In the forest depth, there are real wolves. Children hear their howling. They feel excitement, not fear, because they've already conquered fear. Fear is luxury for a Viking child. The smallest child, 8-year-old Eric, falls behind the group, out of breath, his feet frozen. The master approaches. "Are you tired?" he asks. "No," says Eric, his teeth chattering from cold. "Don't lie. Being tired isn't shameful, but being defeated by tiredness is." A Viking child can be tired, but never gives up. There are tears in Eric's eyes, from cold or pain. It's unclear, but he doesn't wipe his eyes. He carries his tears with Viking pride. Eric nods. He quickens his step. The fire inside him is stronger than the cold outside. There's new determination in the child's step. He's no longer little Eric, he's young warrior Eric. As night progresses, children learn different skills: tracking, moving silently, understanding nature's sound. Every sound is a message, every track is a story. Viking children must learn this language. The forest looks different at night. Trees become giant shadows, branches ghostly hands. Snow has changed everything. Familiar paths have disappeared. Children can only trust their instinct. Instinct is the most reliable compass. "Look," says the master, pointing to track in the snow. "A deer passed here 3 hours ago, wounded. There are blood traces. If we follow, we can find it. But be careful. A wounded animal is the most dangerous animal." Deer tracks are clearly visible in the snow, but there are other tracks beside them. Bigger, deeper. Wolf track. Wolves are also following the same deer. This will be a real hunter's race. Children follow the track. Hours pass. Fatigue seeps into their bones, but they don't stop. In Viking training, there's no stopping, only moving forward, only surviving. The tracks lead them to a deep canyon. The canyon is the remains of an ancient volcano. Rocks are sharp, the path dangerous. One wrong step means death, but going back also means death, because a Viking child who goes back is no longer Viking. At the bottom of the canyon, children find the deer, but they're not alone. 5 large wolves have surrounded the deer. The alpha wolf sees the children. There's neither fear nor aggression in his eyes, only understanding, as if saying, "You are hunters too, so are we. Let's see who's stronger." "What do we do now?" asks Eric, trembling in his voice. "We'll fight the wolves," says Ingrid, determination in her voice. "No," says the master, "we'll learn from the wolves, how they hunt, how they share, how they show respect." The alpha wolf kills the deer, fast, clean, painless. Then he pulls back, waiting for the rest of the pack to eat. This is nature's law. The strong protects the weak. When the wolves finish eating, they look at the children. The alpha wolf leaves a piece of meat for them. This is a sign of respect. Hunter recognizes hunter, shows respect. Children take the meat. Raw meat, warm blood. The first taste is disgusting, then it gives strength. This meat connects them to the wolf. Now they too are part of the pack. When they find the deer, dawn is breaking. The wounded animal lies at the base of a tree. There's fear and pain in its eyes. The master looks at the children. "Who will kill?" he asks. This time it's different. This time children decide among themselves. The oldest child, 12-year-old Magnus, steps forward. He holds a knife. He's trembling, but not from fear, from excitement. The moment of first real killing. Magnus's hands look experienced now. He's practiced a lot in recent weeks. Small animals, birds, fish. But this is different. This is big. This is innocent. This is beautiful. "You will free the animal from pain," says the master. This isn't mercy, it's duty. A Viking warrior doesn't cause unnecessary pain. He kills fast and clean. Magnus approaches the deer. He looks into the animal's eyes. In those eyes, he sees death's acceptance. When he plunges the knife, a strange feeling inside him. First blood, first death, first step to becoming a warrior. The deer's blood spreads in the snow, red stain on white ground. This image is etched in the children's memory. This is how death looks. beautiful and terrible at the same time. Other children watch silently. Everyone waits their turn. Because in Viking training, everyone passes through the same path. Blood path, death path, warrior path. But this is just the beginning. Deer meat will last for days. Children learn how to share the meat, how to preserve it, how to cook it. Every piece is valuable. Every drop of blood is sacred. When daybreak, they return to the village. Children are different. The childhood light in their eyes has gone out, replaced by warrior fire. Hands smell of blood. Souls have hardened. But something else has changed. The bond between them has strengthened. Throughout the night, they were hungry together, cold together, conquered fears together. They're no longer just child friends, they're war brothers. Tonight went well, says the master, but this is just the beginning. You have harder nights ahead. More blood, more pain, more death. Are you ready? Children in one voice, we're ready. And this answer is proof that they're no longer children. This answer is a promise given to their ancestors' soul. This answer is the oath of future warriors. When they reach the village, other children are still sleeping, but they're coming from a different world now, from the world of death, from the world of blood, from the world of warriors. The sun has set, but night hasn't yet fallen. This is the moment Viking children fear most, fire circle time. In the village center, a great fire burns, flames licking the sky. Children are arranged around the circle, fear and excitement in their eyes. But fear is the minority, excitement is the majority. This night is the longest night of the year. Winter solstice. According to ancient Viking belief, spirits are strongest this night. Ancestors descend to earth, testing children. They take the unsuccessful ones with them, marking the successful ones as Viking. Beside the fire circle, stone blocks carved with ancient runes stand. Each stone represents a different test. Firestone, flame test. Ice stone, freezing test. Bloodstone, cutting test. Death stone, final test. Children know these stones very well. They see them in their dream. The most mysterious stone is the black opal in the center. This stone represents Odin's eye, the symbol of the god who gave his eye for knowledge. Tonight, children too will give something for knowledge. Innocent, childhood, fear, they'll throw it all into the fire. The fire circle is the hardest test Viking children must pass. Not just physical strength, but spiritual strength is tested. Facing fear, dancing with pain, looking death in the eye. All of this is learned in this circle. The village's sorceress woman walks around the circle, incense in her hand, ancient songs on her lip. These songs are calls to ancestors' soul. They're here tonight, watching the children. The War Master holds red-hot iron in his hand. The metal is fire-colored, burning the air. Tonight, he says, his voice echoing throughout the village, children will die, warriors will be born. The Master's words echo in the night air. Children have heard these words before, but this time is different. This time it's real. This time there's no going back. First test, fire walking. Children must pass barefoot over flame. Flesh will burn, skin will cook, but they won't scream. Screaming is worse than death for a Viking child. The fire pit is 3 meters long, glowing coals underneath, flames above. The temperature is unbearable, but they must bear it, because those who can't bear it can't become warrior. The smallest child, 7-year-old Astrid, is first in line. Girl children don't receive less training than boys. In Viking culture, a strong woman is as valuable as a strong man. Astrid extends her feet toward the fire. Flesh sizzle, pain strikes her brain, but she doesn't stop. She passes. Astrid's feet are burning, but there's no expression on her face. Her eyes are closed, her breathing steady, as if she's walking in a meadow, not in fire. This is the true Viking spirit, will that transcends pain. Others follow, pain with every step, endurance with every step. Feet bleed, tears flow, but none go back. Viking children don't know how to go back. Eirik, the child whose feet burn the most, his small body feels pain more, but he doesn't cry. He grits his teeth, clenches his fist. Pain strengthens him, doesn't weaken him. The second test is harder. Ice bath. In the frozen lake, children will wait for half an hour. Temperature far below zero, water sharp as a knife. Body will go numb, consciousness will fade, but they won't come out. The ice lake is an ancient crater lake. According to legend, ancient gods' bones lie at the bottom of this lake. Water carries their power. Those who enter share that power, or die frozen. Cold is your enemy, says the master, but also your teacher. Cold teaches you discipline. Cold teaches you endurance. Cold teaches you death. Children enter the water. In the first second, their breath is cut off. Body goes into shock. Heart races, but they stay. Thought reaches stopping point. Only will remain. Water is so cold that even breathing is painful. But children adapt. Body goes into survival mode. Blood withdraws to vital organs. Hands and feet go numb. 10 minutes pass. Some are about to faint. Lips have turned purple. Teeth are chattering, but they don't come out because coming out is weak. Weakness is forbidden for Viking children. Magnus, the strongest child, is also struggling. Despite his body being muscle mass, cold hits everyone equally, but he too resists. Because if the leader comes out, it forces everyone to come out. 20 minutes. They no longer even feel pain. Body is numb, soul in another dimension. This is the moment of meeting death. Death is no longer foreign, it's familiar. At this point, children start seeing hallucinations. Some see their ancestors, some see gods. Maybe it's not hallucination, maybe ancestors really came, talking to them. After half an hour, the master gives the signal. Children come out of the water, can't stand, but they get up. Even if they fall, they get up. Viking children always get up. After coming out, village women wrap them in furs, give them warm drink, but the most important treatment is fire. Children come to the fire again, this time not to burn, but to heal. Third and final test. Blood brotherhood. Children cut each other's palms, mixing their blood. Now there's not just family bond, but blood bond. In war, they'll protect each other, die for each other if necessary. Each child cuts another's palm with a small knife, not deep, but sufficient. Blood must flow. Blood unites soul. This blood, says the master, binds you to each other forever. You're no longer alone. You're a pack, wolf, and the pack never leaves one of its members behind. Children raise their hand. Blood drips, mixing with fire. Flames rise, as if sending a message to the sky. Gods see this moment, marking these children. Blood sizzles in the fire. The smell is strange but familiar. It registers somewhere in the children's memory. This smell will find them everywhere from now on. It will become part of the smell of war. As night progresses, children change. Not just physical, but spiritual change. They no longer look at the world with child eyes. They look with warrior eyes. Everything looks different, sharper, clearer, more real. As the fire circle ends, the master says final word. Tonight you died and were reborn. You're no longer Viking children. You're Viking warrior candidate. Your path is long, your tests many. But now you're ready. Children, now young warriors, disperse silently. But there are invisible bonds between them. Blood bond, war bond, death bond. Tonight, childhood died. Warriorhood was born in its place. And this birth, though painful, is necessary. Because being Viking isn't easy. Being Viking is dancing with death every day. Spring has come, snow beginning to melt. Viking children's training enters a new phase. They've passed basic tests, learned to spill blood. Now it's time for real war tech. Child games are over, death games have begun. Spring is war season in Viking culture. Snow melt, roads open, ships descend to sea. In this season, children prepare for real war, because when summer comes, perhaps real war will knock on their doors. At the mountain's foothills, remains of an ancient battlefield stand. Broken swords, shattered shields, rotting bone. These lands have witnessed hundreds of battles. Under every inch of soil there's a warrior's blood. On these sacred lands, children will meet their ancestors' spirit. The ancient battlefield consists 3 hills. First hill of the first battle. Second hill of great victory. Third hill of last resistance. Each hill gives different lesson, tells different story. The war master takes children to the mountaintop. This is where ancient Viking warrior spirits roam. Stones smell of blood. Wind carries war cry. On this sacred ground, children will take their final lesson. From the mountaintop, the entire village is visible. Below, small houses, smoking chimneys, peaceful people. But this peace is deceptive. Enemy can come at any moment. Break this peace. The warrior's duty is to protect peace. Look down, says the master, pointing to the village. That's your home, but also the place you must protect. A warrior exists, not just to attack, but to protect. Children see their village with different eyes now. Not just home, but protection zone. Not just family, but people to be protected. This new perspective burdens them with responsibility. 15-year-old Ragnar, the group's oldest, steps forward. He's no longer a child, but a young man. His body has built muscle, his eyes sharp as an eagle's. Master, he says, when can we go to real war? There's impatience in Ragnar's voice. He craves blood, wants victory, but he's not ready yet. There's strength, but no wisdom. There's courage, but no experience. The master smiled. But this smile isn't warm, it's cold as a glacier. Patience, young eagle. Real war will find you. Don't seek it. There's hidden wisdom in the master's word. Young warriors who seek war usually die in war. Those who wait for war to find them live and achieve victory. On the mountaintop, children learn different formations. Shield wall, spear hedgehog, berserker charge. Each one a separate art, a separate dance of death. They must move as if one body, think as if one brain. Shield wall is the foundation of Viking warfare. Shields locking together, creating a wall the enemy cannot pass. In this formation, every warrior is responsible for his neighbor's life. Fight as a pack, says the master. Even if you're strong alone, you're stronger with the pack. But be careful, the pack's weakest link destroys the entire pack. Children learn this lesson very well. They practice, see their mistake, correct them. Every mistake could cost their lives in real war. Days pass, training intensifies. No longer wooden weapon, but real iron. Swords, axes, spears, all sharp, all deadly. Children meet real blood, real pain. Real weapons feel different, heavy, cold, deadly. Children's hands bleed until they get used to it. But they must get used to it, because in war, weapon is the best friend. 13-year-old Sigrid, the group's only girl, falls after a spear blow. Blood flows from her shoulder, her face has gone pale, but she gets up, grabs her spear again. Sigrid's wound is deep, muscle is cut, bone is visible. A normal child would run to hospital, but Sigrid is a Viking child. She continues training after bandaging the wound. Good, says the master. Pain doesn't stop you. This is a sign of Viking spirit. But be careful, if you take the next blow, you'll die. In real war, there's no second chance. Sigrid nods. She understands the situation's seriousness, but she's not afraid. Fear has already left, cold calculation has taken its place. The hardest part of training is psychological preparation. Children must prepare to kill their friend, because in war, the enemy was once someone's friend too, someone's child. This is the most painful. Children love each other, protect each other, but a warrior must learn to control emotion. Otherwise, emotions will cause death. The enemy is flesh and blood like you, says the master. He fears like you, suffers pain like you, but he's your enemy, and if you don't kill the enemy, he'll kill you. It's that simple. Children practice on straw dummies, but straw dummies are dressed like real people. They have faces, names, stories. While children kill them, they're preparing to kill real people. Straw dummies' eyes look real. Children sometimes hesitate, sometimes get emotional, but the master's voice is sharp. The enemy won't show you mercy. Don't show him any either. The most painful lesson, friend killing. Children are paired up, asked to attack each other, not to death, but until seriously wounded. Wounding your friend is the price of becoming a warrior. This lesson tears the soul apart. Children have protected each other until now. Now they'll wound each other. But it's necessary, because a warrior must be ready for every situation. Eric and Magnus, closest friend, face each other. There's hesitation in their eye, but the swords in their hands are real, and what they'll cut is real too. Eric and Magnus met when they were 5. They played together, cried together, grew up together. Now they'll wound each. This is the most painful aspect of Viking training. Begin, says the master. The first strikes are slow, hesitant, then they speed up, harden. Friendship is forgotten, only survival instinct remains. Magnus wounds Eric's arm. Eric draws blood from Magnus's leg. Strikes cause real pain, but children are used to pain. Pain is now friend, not enemy. Pain warns them, strengthens them. The final blow comes from Magnus. Eric falls to the ground, blood flowing from his chest. Not deep, but painful. Magnus drops his sword, reaches for his friend. Stop, says the master. Don't help. In war, you don't feel the pain of the enemy you've brought down. You must kill these feelings. There are tears in Magnus's eyes, but he wipes his tears, because warriors don't cry, at least not in front of others. Magnus suffers internally. He wounded his best friend, but he had to. This is the price of becoming a warrior, and everyone pays the price. At sunset, children come down from the mountain. Wounds are bandaged. Pain is tried to be forgotten, but something has changed inside them. Childhood friendship has gone, replaced by warrior brotherhood. Warrior brotherhood is different, deeper, stronger, because it's built with blood and pain. These bonds end with death. Actually, they don't even end with death. Today you learned a hard lesson, says the master, but the most important lesson, being a warrior, isn't just killing the enemy. Sometimes you must wound your friend too, because life is like this, merciless and unfair. Tonight, children will think long. Tomorrow, training will continue. And one day, real war will be waiting for. That day, everything they learned today might save their lives. Winter has come again. But this winter is different. Children are no longer really children. 16, 17-year-old young warriors. Their bodies shaped with muscle, their souls tempered with steel. The final phase of their training begins. This final test will determine the line between life and death. This winter isn't just seasonal change. It's the final turning point in children's lives. After this, they won't be children anymore. They'll either become warriors or die. There's no middle ground. In the village's oldest place, their ancestors' graves stand, stone sarcophagi, covered with runic writings. Every grave is a story. Every story is a lesson. Children will take their final lessons among these graves. They'll learn to live from the dead. The cemetery is the village's sacred heart. Only the most honorable warriors are buried here. Children used to fear coming here when they were small. now they come with respect. Because now they understand, death isn't enemy, it's teacher. Village old women, read children's dreams. This is ancient Viking tradition. A warrior's soul reveals itself in dreams. Some dream of eagles flying, some of wolves howling. Some dream of dragons breathing, some of the dead dancing. Every dream is a message. Every message is fate, and fate can never be changed. Dream reading is ancient art. Only the wisest women know it. They see children's futures from their dreams. Who will live? Who will die? Who will become hero? It's all written in dreams. In Astrid's dream, there's a white-haired woman. The woman extends a sword to her and says, "This sword has taken thousands of souls. Now it will unite with your soul." When Astrid wakes, she understands. She's chosen to become a Valkyrie. Being a Valkyrie is the greatest honor, taking the souls of those who die in battle to Valhalla, but also the greatest burden, because you must see death everywhere. In Ragnar's dream, there are great battlefields, thousands of warriors, blood everywhere, screams everywhere, and himself, in the middle of battle, cutting down enemies. This dream is clear. He'll become a war king. Being a war king means power, but also responsibility, because the price of kingship is usually life. Eric's dream is different. Silent forests, walking alone, seeing no one. This dream is also clear. He'll become a lone wolf, hunting alone. Lone wolf is a wolf separated from the pack, strong but lonely, free but unprotected. Eric's fate is this. Between loneliness and freedom, the War Master gathers children for the last time. He no longer calls them children, but young warriors. Respect has changed. Level has risen. Training is over, he says. You've learned everything you can learn. Now you'll find your own paths. Some of you will march at the front in great battles. Some will organize silent assassinations. Some will protect the village. But all of you will be Vikings. There's pride in the Master's voice. He knew these children when they were small, raised them. Now he's releasing them into the world. They'll find their own paths now. Tonight, there's a final test. But this test is different. The death test. Before children go to real war, they must dance with death. A warrior who doesn't know death isn't a real warrior. The death test is the most dangerous test. 1/3 of children die in this test. But those who pass become real Vikings. This risk is worth it. In the dark forest, children are left alone. Each has only a knife in their hand. In the forest, there are hungry wolves, angry bears. They must survive until morning. This is the final test. The forest is different at night. Sounds are amplified. Shadows move. Children will use everything they've learned so far. Otherwise they won't see morning. Astrid climbs to the treetop. She hears wolves' sounds below. She's not afraid. Fear has long died inside her. She just waits. Shows patience. A Viking warrior is patient. The night spent in the tree is long. Cold seeps into bones. Fatigue closes eyes. But Astrid doesn't sleep. Sleeping means death. Ragnar is bolder. He walks toward the wolves, with bare knife, in darkness, alone. Is this madness or courage? The difference between the two is very thin. Ragnar's approach is aggressive. He never learned fear, or he learned it but conquered it. Either way, it's a dangerous approach. Eric hides. He won't fight. He'll hide. This isn't cowardice, it's intelligence. Sometimes hiding requires more strength than fighting. Eric's approach is calculated. He plans every move, thinks through every choice. This is also a type of warrior, the intelligent warrior. As night progresses, each faces different tests. Astrid freezes in the tree, but endures. Ragnar fights wolves, kills one, gets wounded himself. Eric waits silently, watching for his opportunity. Each child's story develops differently, but the outcome is the same. They're trying to survive. This final test is the hardest. Ragnar's fight is violent. The wolf is big, strong, but Ragnar has also grown, gotten stronger. He wins in the end, but the price is heavy. Arm is mangled, leg wounded. When morning comes, all three are alive. But they're no longer the same people. In their eyes is the look of those who have seen death. calm, cold, accepting. In the morning light, children look different, as if they aged during the night. There's maturity in their faces, wisdom in their eyes. The War Master meets them. There's pride in his eyes. Congratulations, he says. You're now Viking warriors. But remember, this is just the beginning. Real war awaits you. When they return to the village, everyone understands. Children have gone. Warriors have returned. Their walk is different. Their gaze different. Their presence different. Village people greet them differently. No longer as children, but as warriors. This change is important and necessary. Old women give them special clothes. Leather armor, fur cloaks, rune-engraved belts. Every piece carries meaning. Every meaning gives power. These clothes, says the oldest woman, are worn only by those who have proven their souls. You have proven, now you have the right to wear them. That night, there's a great feast. All the village's warriors gather, welcoming the newly arrived young warriors. Mead is drunk. Songs are sung. Stories are told. The feast is traditional. Every new warrior is welcomed like this. But this time is special, because these children are different. They've been through more at a younger age. But the young warriors are different. They don't drink too much, don't laugh too much, because they know, tomorrow, perhaps there will be war. And in war, you live with the risk of death, every day. The oldest warrior, 90-year-old Gunnar, stands up. Battle scars cover his body, but his soul is still young. Let me tell you a story, he says. Once, I was like you too, young, strong, felt immortal. Then I went to my first battle. I saw the first death, lost my first friend. That day I understood, being a warrior isn't just killing, it's also experiencing loss. Gunnar's words warn the young ones. War isn't beautiful, isn't romantic. War is pain, loss, death. Young warriors listen carefully. This story tells the reality awaiting them. But don't be afraid. Gunnar continues. Because you're ready. Viking fire flows in your blood. And if you die, Valhalla's doors are open to you. There's eternal war. There's eternal honor. The feast continues until midnight. Then everyone disperses silently. Young warriors go to their own homes. But these are different homes now. Now they're warrior home. Astrid lies in her bed, but can't sleep. In her mind, training days, pains, losses revolve. She's no longer an innocent child. She's now a warrior, and being a warrior is a heavy burden. Ragnar cleans his weapons. Tomorrow perhaps there will be war. He must be ready. Every Viking warrior lives like this. Every day like the last day. Every night like the last night. Eric looks out the window. Dark forest, silent mountains, distant stars. They all seem familiar to him now. Because he's now nature's child. Wild, free, alone. When morning comes, all three feel the same thing. Childhood has ended. Warriorhood has begun. Ahead lies a long road. Difficult wars, heavy losses. But they're ready. Viking training has prepared them for pain, blood, death. There's no more fear, only acceptance. Whatever fate brings, they'll face it. The War Master comes to see them one last time. There's no longer teacher-student relationship, but warrior-warrior relationship. Your path is long, he says. Your wars are many. But remember, you were Viking children. Now you're Viking warriors. This is the greatest honor. And thus, the story ends. Children have died. Warriors have been born. Viking bloodline discipline has raised another generation. Now, they will raise their own children, with the same pain, the same blood, the same honor. Because being Viking isn't just being born. Being Viking is preparing, suffering pain, written in blood. And this story will continue forever.